Hey guys, and welcome to a new series on my channel. Recently I asked you guys whether or not you'd be interested in seeing a palette a day series. A couple of you did say you'd be interested in seeing that series testing all of the indie brand eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection, and these are brand new to me. I made it kind of a mission in my personal life to support more independent brands and get more into indie eyeshadow brands. So I have been hauling a bunch. I've got a bunch of different indie brand haul shadow videos on my channel. I think there's 4 installments, and I will be trying to link those in the description box in case you guys are interested in checking them out and you haven't already. But I have 45 palettes that I have not tested, I have not put on my eyes. I have swatched most of these in the haul video, but in these videos I am going to fully swatch all of the palettes before we do one look. Not all of these palettes are still available. I noticed that after hauling them, some of them sell out. That's how indie brand shadows go. But in case some of them do come back in stock, and in case you guys have these palettes in your current collection and are interested in seeing a look, I am going to include all of the palettes that I hauled, regardless of whether or not they are still available. I am just picking the palettes that are really calling to me the day that I come up here to film these videos. And if you are interested in me doing a look with any one of those next, please leave it in the comments below. If you guys aren't currently subscribed, I'd love to see you subscribe. You guys, let's get into it. Welcome in, you guys, to another palette a day video, and welcome to spooky season. I'm going to be focusing the palettes from here till the end of November, focused mainly on spooky themed or fall themed palettes. I'm gonna target the spooky themed palettes first while we're still in the month of October. I am a little bit behind, but if you guys know, you know, it's been chaotic in my life. We had 2 hurricanes hit Florida, so I'm definitely behind where I wanted to be in filming these. But today, I want to do a palette that I even think that I've heard you guys ask me to do in some of my haul videos. It's the Haunted palette from Gourmande Girls, and this one is in collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny. They still do have this available for sale on their website, and I think it's a really good time to do this because right now it's on sale for like half off. I think these normally retail for $54.99, so it's a little bit more than half off right now. It's on sale for $25, so if you guys are interested in picking this up, it would be a good time to do it. I believe this palette is a couple of years old too. They call this the 3rd in their series of spooky collaboration palettes with Doodles by the Bunny. Haunted brings you shades perfect to blend together with their nightshade and spooked sisters, or to stand alone on its own. And here's the color story. Now you guys know I have not put any of these on my eyes, but I have, because of my haul videos, swatched all of these shades. I don't know how many are like multi-chromes or duochromes or just regular shimmers, because they don't say on the palette, nor do they say on the website. I like the take on this color story. I like that it has like one kind of grungy half and then one that's like a little bit brighter too, and you can kind of marry both of these together to get a nice fall themed, very even like kind of spooky look or greenish yellow look. So I definitely like this color story. There are definitely shades I am more drawn to here, and I love taking super deep shades in the outer corner. So it's usually what I end up going for when I create a look for you guys, but I'm definitely on the fence now as to whether or not to like marry this, like do a green with a deeper green or the black out here, and to use this shimmer. But really the shimmer is calling to me, so I might take this shade maybe with this shade and then the black shade. I don't really know yet, but the swatching is going to tell us. So I do swatch all of these from left to right, top to bottom, so we can get live swatches and then come up with one look. So let's get into it, you guys. All right, I'll call out the shade names, but I literally have no idea again if they're like duochromes or multichromes or whatever. This one is called Ghostly, which is just a light lavender shimmer. It definitely kind of looks like a duochrome. Sorry, the brightness in here, but maybe not. It has a little bit of shift to it. It's kind of hard to see, I think, back on camera, but it's like purple, pink, and kind of gold. This next one is a murky green matte that I'm really drawn to. It's in the shade Cursed. This is definitely more desaturated. I am somewhat familiar with the Gourmande Girls formula. I have, I think at this point, tried one of their palettes that had both shimmers and mattes in it, and one that was an all shimmer palette. I think it was the Radioactive palette. I'm pretty sure it was from Gourmande Girls. So those are really the only 2 palettes that I've tried. I haven't tried anything from the collaborations with Doodles by the Bunny, but I do have 2 of their palettes. I have the Silent Night and this one. And at some point I'll do the Silent Night, probably in December, because it's kind of like a winter themed palette. But man, I still have so many to get through. Okay, this one is called Jinxed, and it's a really reflective pink. It's kind of a blue pink. It's really pretty, but it's more translucent, not a huge base, and even almost like kind of sparkly too. The first one is way more purple, and that one's way more pink. And this next one is like a mustardy yellow, matte, and So Haunted is the shade name. These are really desaturated shades. It's kind of cool. Like you can really probably throw these all over and really blend them together very nicely. This looks like a really, really vibrant green satin shade. It does not look like a shimmer. It's pretty flat. It's in the shade Eerie. Yeah, it's definitely a satin shade. This doesn't have a ton of light reflection to it at all, but it's nice. It has like a decent base. I like that. I'm not really sure what this next shade is. It's in Scare, but is it like purple? I think it kind of looks purple, like a dusty purple. Dusty, maybe like deep mauve, even like a taupe shade, just a dusty purple shade. Ooh, that's really pretty too. These two shades would look really good together. I want to say the pinks and purples so far maybe a little out of place for this palette, like the shimmer shades. This next one is a pretty true purple matte in Bewitched, and this one seems pretty pigmented. Way less desaturated than the others. Yes, it is. That one I could see pairing with like one of these shimmers. So I kind of take it back. I guess the pink and purple shimmers aren't completely out of place, especially with this next one, which I can't tell if this is a shimmer or like a satin. Yeah, I think this is just like a satin. Like I'm guessing this is a satin because it's not like necessarily a matte, but it's definitely not a shimmer. And this one is in Spectral. Interesting shade. Like interesting texture too. Kind of cool. Yeah, definitely a satin, but like maybe more satin than the green one. Like it's really interesting. All right, this next one is like a daisy yellow matte shade. Daisy yellow, I don't know. It's just a yellow. It's in Obsessed. I like the little prints in each of these matte shades, but I have destroyed them like already, having swatched these both now twice. Okay, that's really desaturated. That's just like a very light shade. I don't think that's gonna get like super intensely pigmented. Could be wrong. Now, Apparition is like my favorite shimmer shade. It's like a blue purple and it's super sparkly. Like this is definitely what I'm drawn to, but it doesn't have a super strong base to it. It looks like it would in the pan, but swatched out, not so much, huh? I would say if any one of these was gonna be a duochrome, it would be that one. I'm also drawn to this one, Unearthly. It's like a vibrant green shimmer shade. Oh, it's like yellow. Yikes. This one's really pretty. Very soft. Again, not a super strong base on this one. Yeah, it's like a bright yellow. Very light reflecting. It's super sparkly too. It's like silver sparkles, almost maybe even blue sparkles, like on top of it. It's really pretty. Both of those shimmers are gorgeous. All right, this next one is Supernatural, which looks like kind of a brownie wine shade. It's not fully burgundy and it's not fully brown. So what color shade is that? I don't know. This one is not dragging all the way out. Again, it's one of the more desaturated shades, probably a really good blending shade. Now we have this camo green matte in Horrify. Here it is here. Wow, these are so soft. They're almost like cream. And you really have to press hard with your finger to pick it up to get a dense enough swatch to like carry it out or not look super not opaque, I guess. I like that murky camo green though. And then one of the most important shades in this palette is your matte black in the shade Troubled. And there is the full color story. Okay, so I can see why the pink and purple shimmers in here would look good with like maybe even this is a transition and the matte black in the outer corner. Like this all makes sense to me. I can see a look in every one of these shades. I think you can pair every one of these mattes with some shimmer in here and you can like mix and match. There's so many different varieties that I can see with this palette and this color story. Sometimes I look at a palette and I think, okay, I can really only see one matte with one shimmer. Sometimes two shimmers with one matte, but like never more. This one, I definitely feel like you've got a lot of different combinations. I like that. There's just something about the swatching out of this that gives me a better understanding. I think like it's so much more desaturated when you get it onto the arm, when you start swatching it out, that there's just a lot more possibilities than I think of when I look at the color story in person. It just looks like 10 times more vibrant and maybe a little bit scary. I just don't think that's gonna be the case. All right, here we go. Now, even though I feel like I reach for shades like this a lot and I hate to repeat looks, I still wanna try this so badly, but I wanna take it with this shade instead of a green. I wanna use this like pinky satin shade as my transition. This is my shimmer and I'm definitely going for the matte black in the outer corner. Now, with the Gourmande Girls formula, The mattes I have had some issues with in the past where the matte shades didn't end up pulling the exact same tone on the lid as they looked in the pan. And so sometimes I was thinking I was going to create a certain look and the tones just weren't coming out correctly. So far, that is literally the only issues I've had with the formula. No issues with the shimmer formula. However, some of the shades are glittery. They're not all like smooth satin shimmers. But I did get different textures in the all shimmer palette, the radioactive palette. There was definitely like more than just like a chunky shimmer. There was some translucent shades. There were some smoother shades, which I really liked. I really do have high hopes for this though. I can tell that blue purple shade is going to be very glittery though. So in preparation for that, I'm gonna use the Moira Glitter Primer and hope that helps. I'm gonna pat it all over the lid. I'm gonna work kind of quickly, pat this on. This is the only shade that I feel like looks somewhat like a multi-chrome in this entire palette. Maybe just a duochrome, but I actually think it does flip. Like I think it's a full multi-chrome. Just guessing, but this is the only one that was pretty flippy, or pretty intensely flippy even. Okay, I will be going back into the fully black matte shade. What is this called? Troubled, right here. And we're going in the outer corner, and I'm taking like the fluffiest packer brush, whatever. It's just an EcoTools angled crease brush. I've never used this brush for my crease, any crease work ever. Is this a glittery shade? Yes. Is it getting everywhere? Also yes. I even still have it like on my hands from like re-swatching it. We'll clean it up. All right, I'm just going crazy like I normally do here, and then going in to clean it up after. I don't care if this is kind of messy right now. That's kind of how I want it. Whoo, that was pigmented. All right, I'm taking now that same brush that I used, whatever this is. This is like a BH Cosmetics 8 brush. It's so old in my collection, but it's the one that I use for that purple shade, and I'm blending these two shades together and kind of buffing out the edges. All right, I'm cutting the edge out. I think I want to deepen up like down here, the bottom part of the eye, just a little bit. This black is definitely really pigmented that it kind of takes over the shimmer, so I don't want to take it like super far in, but I do want to like marry those two together. I just want a deeper bottom lid in the outer corner. Okay, I have no idea what lashes I'm taking because I've worn these before, so I literally have no idea, but I am taking my 2-in-1 lash adhesive and waterproof liner from Moira Beauty because I love this freaking thing. This is a brand new one. I had to open a new one because I had already finished off the last one that I had. Oh, those aren't intense. Which ones are these? Okay, I just went and finished my base makeup, so let's finish the eyes. I'm going for my ColourPop BFF cream gel liners. I tight lined with the black shade, which I think is in Swerve, and then I'm gonna use one of the multi-chromes for the lower lash line. This one is rubbed off. I don't even know what the shade is. It's just like the purple multi-chrome. I quite like these. You guys may have heard me say that these particular multi-chromes are the more flippy of the couple that I've tried. It's not a perfect match, but it will do. I'm gonna take that matte black shade in the outer corner on the lower lash line, probably about halfway, and then that spectral shade, the same shade that I used for my transition, on an even fluffier brush to blend these two together. I'm gonna take that same shade, the same shimmer that we used for my inner corner, and then the Maybelline Sky High mascara for the lower lashes. And that's it, you guys. I have to say, it is a very similar look to the very last palette a day video that I did, because I did purples, and I think I did like a light purple with a deeper purple, and this kind of came out like similar looking, but this palette offers so much more. This palette can do a lot more than the palette that I was using in my last video. You have so many more bright colors that you could play with. There's a lot of possibilities with this palette, and the quality was fantastic. The shimmer was nice and flippy and sparkly and had some decent like glitter to it. The matte shades blended perfectly. The black was nice and easily diffused, but it was also super pigmented. Like, this was a good quality palette. I would have to say that this definitely was better than the first Gourmande Girls palette that I tried, which was also a collaboration. The quality here just seemed better. But look how many bright shades I didn't touch. I got blue purple look, kind of more deep and dark like I normally like it, but look at how many other shades, how many other possibilities are here. Lots of different stuff, lots of different stuff. So I could do like 3 or 4 videos with this palette. That's how I feel about it. There are definitely enough shades in here that appeal to me that I feel like I could make a ton of different looks with this palette. So I thoroughly enjoyed. If you guys have this, I hope this was like a refresher for you and you could see like just a ton of different looks that you could create with this. There are so many different like grungy things that you can do with this that I didn't even go there, you know, like look how fall themed this is and how different a look I was able to get with the shades that exist in this palette. So I think this is a palette that transcends the spooky time of the year. I really do feel like you can use this for a variety of reasons. My son downstairs is a wild person. He's on VR. I hate the VR. Are you guys parents? Your kids have VR? It's like the worst. It is the worst. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed this palette, you guys. Again, it's on sale for 25 bucks. I think that's totally worth it. I would say totally get your hands on this while it is still available. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys aren't currently subscribed, I'd love to see you subscribe so you can stick around for the rest of my palette a day videos while you're on this journey with me while I test all of the indie brand eyeshadow palettes that I have hauled for the very first time and create a look and do swatches and give you my review. Anyway, I'm out of here for today, you guys, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye, guys.